Because it's like, I can only heal one person at a time. She's the person with all the ability to AoE heal. Like, the only other person who can kind of AoE heal without them being super clustered together is Raven. And even then, Love Shot is not that powerful of an ability. But there you go, there's one instance where that part wasn't done in English. Which, maybe they didn't have enough time, they couldn't afford to pay the voice actors, I don't know. And I'm not going to make conjectures or guesses either.
Not too shabby, huh?
But it's noticeable when they're speaking in English one moment and then all of a sudden they say something in Japanese and you're like, whoa. You know, it takes you out of it. I guess we'll do that. But because I'm going to do New Game Plus, I also need to make sure that everybody gets their skills learned. And I realized that came out of nowhere compared to what I was talking about before. But it was just, that's something I say that I've been saying throughout the playthrough, get in the habit of checking what skills you have learned and what you don't have learned. Because this game's combat is 100% based around your character's weapon skills. Like, a little too balanced around it in my opinion, to the point where the game is pretty difficult without the skills. Like, just because you simply don't have the HP to deal with the amount of damage coming in, or your physical defense isn't high enough, and your physical defense is bolstered by many of your armor skills. So your first playthrough generally is probably the most difficult one. But once you have unlocked all the stuff in the grade shop, the game becomes pretty trivial in terms of difficulty. Like, the only things that'll really, if you don't bump the difficulty up, like if you stay at normal and you're New Game Plus and you have, like, you know, your powered up Devil's Arms and you have your end game armor on and stuff, everything will pretty much die in 1 to 2 hits. So that's where, you know, your half damage skills comes in, stuff like that. So that, you know, the game can last a little bit longer according to what you want out of it. But right now, the only reason it's difficult is because we don't have all the weapon skills. And really, the combat just bumps up in terms of enjoyability, in my opinion, when you have all your weapon skills, because then you can do a lot more cool things than what's currently available to you without those skills. Like, I don't think I have his skills even set up. I guess. I mean, we could technically put them all on, so we don't have to be picky about it. All these ones that say weapon on them, you don't need to re-equip them because they're already on something that he's wearing currently, and you don't get an increased effectiveness for it, so there's no reason to double equip skills. Yeah, every once in a while. Ooh, who had a lot of skill points? Oh, you. Like, I really don't care. No offense to Judith Lovers, but I really don't care about what her skills are like. I'm only gonna do my best to learn all of her altered arts, all of her regular arts, and that's about as much effort as I'm going to put in. All of her weapon arts, just so I can have them, because that's part of the collector in me. And I'm not a big 100%er in these types of games, but I always like to collect just enough for like an A, like, you know, like a 90% or something. Like, I don't really care about the last 10% of crap to collect. But a lot of the things that are available to collect are like weapons with weapon skills on them, so that is stuff that I do want to collect. are weapons and weapon skills. Especially because in the Japanese version, they added some. You know, it'd be so nice if you guys stopped the casters from doing things. Like, that would so help me out. You have no idea. Like, you have no idea how much I would enjoy your cooperation in this team-based RPG where you're supposed to kill people together.
Let's eliminate them.
Yeah, with him, I don't remember him
That was cool.
having any combination attacks. Maybe I'm misremembering. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. So really, you know, realistically, when you play this game and you get into its combat, there's really only like one or two really good combo setups or skill setups that allow you to perform decently in a fight with a character. Like, from the best combo I found with him, with all of his skills, I can't even show it to you now because I accidentally saved over my personal file.
This should be some fun training.
I really should be more pissed off about it than I am, but it won't do me any good being pissed about it.
Wonderful. Put out your hand.
And until she learns Nightingale, it's really not worth her casting Nurse for a single target. Like, the AI just feels so much worse in this version of the game. Like, I don't know why, but it does. It's like, oh, I have to babysit even more than I had to before. It's like, okay, I have to disable certain moves so that she doesn't do them, so that, you know, she's not wasting her mana.
I feel like an easy win.
Let us take caution. I have an answer for you. Blazing pillar slash.
Flickering blaze burn.
This is Hellfire Light. Blazing pillar slash.
Flickering blaze burn. Fire. Cavalry.
Are you, like, not going to heal yourself?
Wimps.
I hate when that also happens, when the spell doesn't go off, but it still costs the mana. There's lots of grievances I have in this game. It's not perfect. Like, stupid shit like that where it's like, well, we already spent it, but, you know, the enemy died before it can go off and battle immediately just ends like that. And so you don't get the benefit of using the TP in the first place. It's just really annoying. But yeah, like I said, I have to babysit because she'll run away, try to attack, run away, keep running away. And it's like, no, stop. Heal yourself, because that's what I have you set to do. I have you set on heal, if I'm not mistaken. No, I have her set on assist. Well, that's my bad. There. Boy, is my face red. But if she was set on heal, you know, my defense, she would still be performing horribly. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, we'll see how well she performs now that I actually have her set on what she's supposed to be doing. That was my bad. I can't believe I didn't change that, because I changed that on my personal playthrough. I guess I didn't change it on this one. Because realistically, there's no reason for her to be using barrier and resist and sharpness and all that shit. You don't need to get it up to 50 uses. The only thing you need it for is her altered arts. And even then, the AI is too stupid to stay in it. Like, she can cast variable hex and they'll run out of it, so it's really just a waste of time. and mana. Like you have to, that's the stuff that you really need to be knowledgeable about in terms of like, you know, game knowledge, is like knowing what works with this game's AI and what doesn't. Actually, I should probably, because I don't want to use up too much bandwidth, I should probably pause that. But like, you know, knowing like, okay, like what spell setup will, you know, allow me to be the laziest, because that's what it is. You could micromanage everything to a T in these games, like, okay, tell them to do this now. You can even, once you get an item called the Moon Selector, you can even switch over to that character and just take control of them so that you can completely micromanage it. Like you can macromanage